Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today on It's Armageddon, the aliens have returned. And apparently they've heard about this thing called Star Wars. Whoever told, we're going to have to do something bad to them. And the aliens, well, at first, I tried to talk them into just taking 3 movies. I'll tell you what, we'll give you the best 3. How about that? We'll give you the best 3 Star Wars movies. And the aliens were like, all right. Which ones are you going to give us? And I was like, we're going to give you this thing called the sequel trilogy, episodes 7, 8, and 9. And the aliens were like, those are the best Star Wars movies? Yes. Yes, they are. Unfortunately, the aliens weren't buying it because there's absolutely no way I can call the sequel movies the best Star Wars movies with a straight face. Even with the fate of the world at stake, I just can't. I was a theater major, and even I can't do that kind of acting. It's just not going to happen. So instead, they said, well, I will tell you what. We seem to like this Star Wars idea. We're going to let you keep 3 movies. We're taking the rest. Or else, we're going to destroy the planet. So, if you could keep 3 Star Wars movies, which 3 Star Wars movies would you keep and why? Now, do you go for the obvious correct answer, or do you jump around a bit? Like, I think a lot of people would immediately go original trilogy, which is, of course, the correct answer. But there are people who grew up with the sequels. People who grew up with the sequels are grown now. There's a lot of people out there that like Rogue One. People might want to grab some from each of them. Maybe they want 1 or 2 from original trilogy. They don't like Return of the Jedi. They'd rather have something with the prequel trilogies. There are people out there that like The Last Jedi for reasons I will never understand, ever. There are people out there who like Rise of the Skywalker because they've never seen Star Wars. There's all sorts of different opinions, many of which I will never fathom. But they're out there, so it's not quite as cut and dry, I think, for some people. Some people might, they might really want Rogue One. They might really want prequels. There might be a few that want the Han Solo movie. Or one of the sequel movies. For me, it's the obvious choice. I would keep the original trilogy. A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. That's core Star Wars for me. I could literally live with just those 3 movies. And don't get me wrong, my favorite Star Wars movie is a prequel movie. Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie. I love that movie. But if I could only keep 3, it would have to be the original trilogy. Because Star Wars can survive just on those 3. I know it did for over 20 years, basically. Well, from A New Hope, not from Return of the Jedi. But between 83 and 99, we had 3 movies. And that was fine. Star Wars was still hugely popular. It didn't need everything else. As much as I like the prequels, because I do like the prequels. And I even enjoy some of the spin-off stuff they're doing now. I'm not a fan of the sequel movies. Not really a fan of Rogue One either, except for the Vader scenes. That's just me. But yeah, it's an easy choice for me. A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I'm sad to lose the prequel trilogy, but that's just where we are. As for the sequel trilogy, not only will I give it to them, but I will ask if it has one of those Men in Black flashy memory wipe things so it can do it to the world and make everyone else forget those ever existed. Same thing with Rogue One, except for that Vader scene. We got to keep the Vader scene because that's cool. And the Han Solo movie, yeah, you can take that one too. That's actually part of the bargain. They have to take the Han Solo movie and the sequels. I'm cool with keeping Rogue One. It's not a bad movie. I don't hate it. But they have to take the sequels and they have to take the Han Solo movie or else they can just destroy the world. So that's my answer. I would keep A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I want to know if that's the answer you would go to. It's probably going to be the answer for a lot of people, but I figure some of you might have different answers. I'm curious to see who picks some of the other stuff like Rogue One, some of the prequels, some of the original trilogy, mix and match. I'm curious to see what you guys are going to pick. So comment down below and let me know. Other things to do, don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. There's a link to that down there as well. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. Most importantly, thank you for watching.